Okay, it's about that time again. Just when you thought Live with Mike and Jim wasn't going to take place today, here we are coming at you late. Coming at you late because we're flexible with our schedules. We want to be there on the scene to get the good, entertaining stuff, and we're not going to leave you shorthanded tonight. If you guys haven't been to a KVTA production, there's a big one coming up. Disney Newsies is coming down to town. Lincoln Cultural Center the last week of September, the first week of October. You got to check it out. September 29th and 30th. October 6th and 7th, you got to check the show out in those days. It's directed, it's co-directed here. Actually, I was in Legally Blonde a few years ago, and these were my directors. So what a coincidence to direct it here tonight. They always put on a good show. We got co-directors here, Paula Sutter and Courtney, the real deal Casteel. We're going to get some words with both of these two and get some behind-the-scenes action to what takes place here at Paula Aubrey School of Dance as they prepare for their dance rehearsals. Jim, take it away.
Well, a huge shout out to Paula Aubrey for letting us use the space, letting us use the space, continued efforts in supporting the community. A lot of awesome things happening here. We tagged Amy on there. And then this show actually takes place in another venue. So we're going to do a follow-up episode, which is really exciting. Get you some more entertainment. Behind the scenes, we're going to take you at the end of this. We always do a tour of a business. Since we're not doing a business, it's treated kind of like a business. There's a team of people. They all collaborate together. They all put their minds and their ideas, come with awesome execution. So, I mean, it's a lot like a business. So we're going to tour back there to let you see the hard work they're putting in behind the scenes. And then we're going to get into some of the entertainment that the KVTA has to offer to not only just this fall, and then some future stuff to look forward to, too. Really interesting. My first exposure with KVTA was probably, I confirmed it, like 20 years ago when I was in grade school for Wizard of Oz is what the performance was. Really awesome.
Yeah, good stuff. KVTA always puts on a good production, so put September 29th, 30th on your schedule and go check it out. But let's start the questions off with Paula Sutter here. Paula, you've been involved in theater for years. Okay, let's talk about way back when the seed was planted. How did you even get interested in theater lifestyle?
Actually, when I started my job at the Regional Office of Education, one of our truancy caseworkers was on the KVT board and convinced me to usher, and then she asked me a year later to assistant direct her, and then she got sick, so the board asked me to direct the show, and I'm like,
really?
Sure.
I wonder why they thought you were the person for the job.
I actually co-directed with Brian Zecker. I said, if somebody will help me, and Brian said he'd help, we'd never directed either one of us before. So we just collaborated together, and that's how it happened.
What year was that all that was taking place?
1992.
Okay, wow.
And I was on the board, maybe 94. I got on the board in 94, so maybe it was 94, 95.
Have you ever done any acting yourself?
I have. I've been in 13 shows. Okay. Over the period of the 24 years that I've been involved.
Yeah, but you were directing before you were acting, huh?
No, actually, I was in my first show. Before I got on the board, I acted in 2 shows.
I see.
Before
So
I
you
got on the
already
board.
acted to begin
Yep.
with. Okay, cool.
Yep.
And was it just an interest of yours as a kid or something you always wanted to do?
My dad always used to take me to LCC to see the KVT shows.
Yeah.
And I just fell in love with theater. We used to go to Chicago, just the two of us, to see shows.
Wow.
And then she convinced me to usher, and then they convinced me to audition, and then they got me on the board, and I was there for 24 years.
Wow.
So,
that's how it
yeah, this is my 27th show that I'm directing.
27th show that she's directing. She just keeps on going back. What do you average, about 1 or 2 shows a year?
Yeah, I try to do like one a year.
Yeah.
I had a period in there several years ago where I did 4 in a row. 4 in 10 months. That was insane.
Yeah.
Never again. That's when I was younger.
Director, good stuff.
Yeah, how long does, well here, let's do a quick recap too. We got some new people that just joined on the live stream. We all want to say thank you for jumping on for another live with Mike and Jim. A little bit later in the evening, we're here with Courtney Casteel.
The real deal.
With Paula Sutter, the co-directors, together at the Newsies, Disney Newsies, the Broadway musical, that's right. So we just went through and discovered a little bit about how Paula got thrown into directing without having any past experience. But Courtney, tell us, how did you get involved with the KVTA?
Well, actually, I grew up, and my sister and I are several years apart, so I grew up watching her perform, watching her on the BBC Address stage, watching her in KVT productions. So I was always around. I would color backstage, do all sorts of things. And then when I was 5 or 6, I was in King and I, just like little brief walk-on scene, you know. So then the seed was planted, and then my same sister had children, and so then they got involved, and once they were involved, I had to be a part of it. Anything that they want to do, I want to support them, and it's been very cool, and it's a huge part of my life. I'm on the board now, so it's like one of those things that just like, it snowballs. So you get involved a little bit, and then it's like a little bit more, and then all of a sudden it's like all of your time.
Oh, wow. Now, are you guys looking for anyone else to get involved with the KVTA? Is it
Always. Yeah.
Please accept volunteers.
Yes, we do. Just email us from our website and somebody will contact you.
What is your website?
KVTA.org.
Yeah, so if you want to get involved in theater, that's a good way to get started right there. And there are a lot of talented actors and dancers in this area. And this is a professionally run deal they have going on here. It's really a lengthy process it takes to audition for these roles and get these roles and see who's best for what part. So let's talk about the audition and how that takes place for each show and the roles everybody plays to get that going.
Well, we auditioned the last weekend in June for this show, and then we started rehearsals in July.
Yeah.
So these dancers have been working since the middle of July to perfect the dances for the end of September.
3, 4, sometimes 5 days a week.
Yeah.
And even if you have a small role or a big role, you gotta show up to rehearsals because the timing has got to get down right.
That's
When I was
correct.
in Legally Blonde, I'm like, I only got 10 lines. I don't gotta be there for the whole thing, do I? But no, she doesn't let you slip, not even a little bit. So if Paula's directing, it's gonna be done right. You gotta be there from beginning to end at all rehearsals, and it really makes a big effect on how the big show takes place in the end too. So yeah, what do you got?
Seems like a lot of challenges to bring all these people together to come and bring such a beautiful performance. How do you guys, I mean, you guys are working hand in hand together. How do you guys handle all these people together, different mindsets, talents, trades?
Yeah, we just, from the beginning, Paul and I, we've worked together before. We co-directed Shrek the Musical, so we know how we work as a team. So we surrounded ourselves with strong people, strong musicians, dancers, talented actors, just like the top-notch best team you could have had. So it's easy to then sit back and let people do their job. Like choreographers, we're out here hanging out with you guys because they've got that back there. They don't need us, they are in charge. So same with our vocals. Misty Cole is our vocal director.
Best in the biz right there.
Neil Woodruff has been assisting her, and like he's got his doctorate. So everything has just been awesome. Our set designer, our set builders, they are working tirelessly. So once you surround yourself with a good team, it's pretty easy.
That seems like a lot. So how many people does it involve, minus the performers, how many people does it take to manage the performance?
Good question.
Something like this, probably 20 to 30 once we're done.
And nobody's making any money here. They're all doing it for the love of the game because it's just what they love to do. When you get that much passion in one room, it's a really good production that you just shouldn't miss. September 29th and 30th, October 6th and 7th. Watch it all come together. We're going to take you for a tour in the back. They're dance rehearsing right now. We're going to get a look at that. But let's get some words as to how one can be better in front of the camera. A lot of people are just nervous in front of the camera. Sometimes it's hard for us to get guests because they just don't want to get in front of the camera. And once they are in front of the camera, say somebody's acting, how can they really portray their acting skills and really come out to get you to believe the part they're trying to play?
Practice.
Yeah.
It really, I mean, you just have to get over that fear. At work, I never have that problem. I public speak and I'm not afraid of the camera, but some of my workers at work just don't even want to get up in front of a teacher and talk. And I just tell them to practice in front of a mirror for our purposes, just to get over that fear. But it's just something you got to get over and once you get started. I don't know,
Yeah, and we have a youth division of our theater organization too. So from the ages of 6 to 16, you can start with YPT, and they have auditions coming up September 6th and 7th, callbacks on September 8th for Junie B. Jones Jr. So that's anyone ages 6 to 16. It's got a great staff. Then following up in the season, there's many more opportunities. Little Women, Narnia, and Sister Act. So that's our whole season. And then in the summer, we'll also do a summer camp again. Haven't announced it yet, but it's coming soon. So that's a good way to get your feet wet, get involved in the theater, test it out, see if you love it, if you want to invest more time in it without as much of a huge commitment.
And for adults who think, wow, I really love the theater, I think I'd like to do it, but they're afraid, I always tell them, come and usher for us.
Yeah.
Come and work backstage, get to know some of the people in the organization and let them get to know you. And you'd be surprised how many people have worked backstage for us and helped on a crew, and they're like, man, I want to do this. And the next next thing happens, they come and audition.
Yeah, so if you're looking for something to do, I've been there before, but I was just in the right place at the right time, and sometimes that pays off. So if you're looking for something to do, if you're bored with life, if you want a hobby, you have a little extra time, the kids are growing up, you want something to do with yourself, go usher for KVTA, and it just might turn into something. You'll at least make some good friends in the process.
Yeah.
So come check it out. So let's talk about the audition process again and how hard it is to fill these roles. Do you sometimes have a hard time filling the roles you're really looking to fill? And you sometimes can't pick somebody that you think would be good for that role?
We do sometimes have struggle to fill male roles. We never struggle for females. It's the male roles. And
so we need male actors.
Yes.
KVTA.
A lot of shows are written for males. So it is hard. In fact, when we decided to do this one, we did have some people are like, oh, we're just never going to get enough men. And we got what we needed. They all came out for the show.
Did you have to recruit, or how do you think you got them all?
Well, we're always recruiting. I mean, it doesn't matter if it's our show or not. We're always saying, hey, Little Women is coming up. They got some great parts for guys. They got this for girls. We're always recruiting. But yeah, every director recruits a little bit. We don't necessarily say, hey, you would be a great whatever, because then you don't want them to think you're thinking of them for that part. But you encourage them to come out and audition.
I see.
This show has, like, besides all the newsies, the kids you know that are doing all the dancing, there's 8 male roles in the production. So we just went around and told, like, all of the men on our board, all the men that have been in our shows recently, hey, this has some great parts, non-singing really, non-dancing, so if you just want to come out and act, this was the show to do.
Men that I saw in restaurants that I thought looked the part, give them a card and say, think about this.
Nice.
We're not opposed to just meeting strangers and convincing them to come. We just handed out a card to somebody from Comcast today.
Some natural born sales right here.
Well, we're at Paula Sutter School of Dance. We're going to take a tour here in a second. You probably hear the music in the background. But there's also dance scenes. Not only does acting take place, dance scenes also take place. So how did you get connected with Amy Morris and Paula Sutter School of Dance to work this together? So you just you reached out to her because she's got the best studio in town, and you're like, we need to use your place? Or?
When we were selected to direct, and we have to apply. You have to apply, fill out an application, and be interviewed by the board.
Oh.
And then they choose the people that apply to direct it. Then as directors, we sit together and say, who would we like for AD? Who would we like for music? Who would we like for dance?
Wow.
And Amy and Veronica were on our top of our list.
Top of the list.
And we know how busy they are, but I made an appointment with her, came and talked to her, and they were very excited because they loved this show.
Of course.
And they wanted to choreograph it, so we got really lucky.
Yeah.
I actually got this shirt from Amy's Place, sequels. Good stuff. What do you got left?
Hey, you heard it live. This is a serious production. There's serious people here and some serious talent, and we're about to show you a little bit of it. Quick recap. We're here at the Paula Sutter School of Dance rehearsing for the KVTA with Paula Sutter, Courtney Casteel.
The real deal.
In preparations for late September, they go on stage with the Newsies, which is the Broadway musical, The Newsies.
Yeah,
I got a little mumble
so
jumble
the board
there,
brought it up.
A lot happening.
The board decided to bring Disney's Newsies in, and then it goes from there. You kind of get together and you got to apply for it, and that's all. I didn't know it was that kind of process. So it's not something you decide you want to do and you just direct it on your own. The board brings it. And
we had to write an application. We had to fill things in. And
how many other directors applied for it, do you think? But there's a couple, 2 or 3.
Only the best got selected.
People are going after it.
2 to 3
want
people.
It. Wow, so it's like a fight and a struggle to get. Even when you audition for these roles, you got to be the best at what you do and prove it to get it. And it's really competitive here in the theater industry.
Well, I got a question before we go with that. What happens if someone doesn't get selected? Like, what if you just can't find that right actor or actress?
It's hard.
They just find the best available, right?
Yeah. Paula's experienced that with White Christmas.
And you can make somebody better too.
Yeah, I didn't have a lead male for White Christmas from our audition, so we put out a separate audition just for that part. We advertised that we needed, a man for this part. This was the range, and I actually ended up having 10 additional men come audition for it.
Oh, wow.
And I was able to get my lead from that. So that's what we do. We just post another audition, and if that doesn't work, then we start looking at You know, is there somebody we know that can fill the role?
And this isn't even your full-time job.
Oh, no.
Oh, man.
Well, and they're not settling with the talent
She's a
that's
committed
just there. They're
director.
going in. That's a big deal.
Man, you put a lot into this. You're always hustling around the clock. How much sleep do you get a night? You get 8 hours a night or 7 hours a night? Or how much sleep you get? 5, 6 hours sometimes?
Not very much.
Not during a show.
Press the snooze button when you wake up, you get right up right away.
Well, you know, when you're doing a show, the songs just get so ingrained in your head that at 3 in the morning you're hearing "Carrying the Banner," "King of New York," and it's like, oh, go away. So it just gets ingrained into you. But yeah, I mean, I'm just a very active person, so I get enough sleep.
All right, good. Well, let's do the tour.
That's
Let's
awesome.
go watch some dancing in the background.
Good to see all the hard
You know,
work.
give you guys that are watching, viewers. This is kind of like our tour for the week then. So you guys want to give us some commentary? Paula and Courtney, give us some commentary as to what they're doing back there.
Sure. I was gonna go give them a heads up to make sure.
Oh, go
it
give them
looked
a heads
good.
up. You want to give them a heads up and tell them we're coming on back?
But they
Or
are
we can
working
just
on
let
the
it finish.
finale right now.
They are?
So
Working
we've
on the
got
finale.
through all the other dances.
We're taking you
Now
behind the
They're just
scenes.
getting on to the finishing touches. So
Okay.
putting all the pieces together.
All right. Well, we'll give them a warning.
These 29 people have worked really, really hard.
Good. We're at Paul Aubrey School of Dance. I know.
Can we interrupt?
Stay right here.
Okay.
This is behind the
We
scenes.
have some visitors with us today. This is Mike Neumann and Jim Kuckie. They are interviewing us Facebook Live. So, and they wanted to see some of your dance rehearsal so we can spread the news. Got it? So, whatever you want to have them do, or
No pressure.
no. Yeah. They all have their favorites.
We're going to stay out of the way over here. Oh, there's Amy Morris running the show. Amy Morris says is this live. There she is sitting on the railing over there.
They're going to be
I didn't know
doing
she was here.
a song called "Seize the Day."
This is Lillian Hurd.
Oh, yeah?
Catherine.
She is the
Oh,
female
you
lead
do?
of the show.
So did you put some work into auditioning for the role, or did you just kind of walk into it?
I always put some work in.
So you practiced beforehand, and you knew the role you wanted to do. How long did you practice for before you actually auditioned?
I was trying to do like character analysis, like the time, the era, so you have a better understanding of motives and what things mean to.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So did it take you a few weeks to practice for the audition, or how long did it take for that?
Well, they announced that they're doing Newsies last year, and I was like, I want that.
So you started working on it. Okay, well, go show us what you got out there. This is behind the scenes of Newsies at Paula Aubrey School of Dance.
So the gentleman in yellow is Tanner Hurd. That's Lillian's husband, and he's playing Jack Kelly.
Jack Kelly.
Jack the lead.
And there are 2 other dances that are that intense as well.
Wow, well good. Let's go out here and wrap this thing up then. Wow, all that with a month to go, and they're just rehearsing. So how many nights a week do they rehearse here then?
They've been averaging 3 nights a week here.
Wow, that's what it takes.
And Saturdays.
Dang. Let's go out here away from the noise. We'll wrap things up a little bit. Wow, I'm excited, man. So Disney's Newsies, September 29th, then 30th, then again on October 6th and 7th. Put it on the calendar. Take the family out for something different than dinner and a movie. We're at Paula Aubrey School of Dance. If your kids haven't found their niche yet, make them try dance. Can't go wrong here with Amy Morris and her crew at Paula Aubrey. So anything else you want to tell the fans and viewers and followers, and anybody wants to get involved with KVTA, any last words?
Just contact us through our website, but get your tickets early because the tickets are really starting to sell. And after people see it the first weekend, I know the second weekend will just sell out. So it's a fun, uplifting show. The music is great. The dancing is great. You just really got to come see it.
Dancing is next September 29th, September 30th, October 6th and 7th.
Yep.
And where's the best way to get tickets at for this?
KVTA.org, O-R-G, and follow us on Facebook. You can click on the link there. You can go to our website, click on the link. We make it very easy to find your tickets.
And you pick your own seats.
Pick your own seats, KVTA.
$20 for adults, $17 for youth and senior citizens.
It's a show you just shouldn't miss. Get there. Put it on your calendar. Thanks for watching. We are out of here.
Thank you.